Hello, welcome. In this lecture, let us understand how to control number of threads or even a ramp up time or a loop count from the command line. It means you want to specify number of threads, ramp up period as well as loop count in the command itself while executing. For that, we need to make use of a function called -p, which is provided in the jmeter. This is a simplified property function which is intended for use with properties defined on the command line. It is specifically defined for properties to be defined in the command line. Right? I have opened the jmeter here. Let me create a test plan elements now. Let me add the thread group. I will also add the sampler HTTP request, and I will also add the listener to verify the result. And I can add one more listener, let us say aggregate report. Now here I will specify the properties. We can specify any HTTPS. I will specify some website www.blazedemo.com. Let me save this test plan as a command line property, right? Command line property. I will save this test plan, desktop test. Okay, I will save this test plan here, and let me run and verify whether this test plan is working properly or not. Okay, this successfully completed the execution. So our test plan is working. Now we need to control this number of threads, ramp up period as well as loop count from the command line. For that, what you can do is you can go to tools and then go to function helper dialog. If you search here, you will find one function called p. Here you can specify the name of the property. I will say users, and default value of the users I can default value I will specify as 1. If you don't specify, by default also it will be taking value 1 itself. So let me specify 1 and generate this function. So this is the function that you can use, right? If you want a help on this function, you can click on this help. It will open this function. You can see here the details of the function, right, and its syntax as well. So this is the syntax of the function, right? Then we will use the similar way. This function I will use here. See here, by default we have specified a value 1. If you don't specify also, it will take a default value of 1. Similarly, for ramp up period as well, I will use this. I will change the name of the variable to ramp up, and similarly for loop count also I will say as loop count. Okay, now we have specified these functions here, and using these variables we can control the value of this. Using these variables we can control the value of number of threads, ramp up period and loop count from the command line. Now let me save the test plan, and let us try to execute this test plan from the command line. Okay, let me open the terminal, and you go to the location of your jmeter bin folder. cd space here, provide the path to your jmeter bin folder. Now we are in the jmeter bin folder. What we can do is we can use the command sh space jmeter.sh. If you are using a Windows, then you just have to use a jmeter, that's it. Now I will specify -n non-GUI mode -t. Its t means location of the test plan, right? I will specify the location of the test plan here. Test plan is stored in this location. I have specified the location of the test plan, and I will also specify the now location of the result file where we want to store the result, right? We can store that in a CSV file. So result, this is the file we want to store the result. Let me copy this and let me paste the path to the result file, and we want to store the HTML report as well. Then we can specify -e -o and path to the report folder. Let us, I will give this report folder I have created. Here I want to store the report. I will copy this as a path name and I will provide the path to the report folder. Now we have used these variables here in the test plan, right? What I can do is I can specify the number of users in the command line itself. Now -j, capital J, and users equal to, let us say I want to give 10 users. Similarly, -j ramp up, I want to give, let us say, 10 seconds. Similarly, -j loop count, I want to give loop count of, let us say, 10. Right? Now our command is ready. We can execute this command, and what will happen is this value j users, it will be used here for number of threads. J ramp up 10, it will be used here for number ramp up period. Similarly, loop count 10 will be used here for loop count. Right? Let me execute this command. So it has started running. So there is some error here. Okay, it is saying CSV file is not empty. What I will do is I will delete that file so that it will create its own file. Right? I'll delete that file and I will rerun the command. So it has started the execution. See, new CSV file is created, and so it is taking some time because we have given a loop count 10 and as well as threads as well 10. Right? So let it complete. So now it has completed the execution and the result is generated. You can see here total 100 records. It means one is header. 10 loop count we have given for 10 threads. It means 10 into 10, 100 records. Right? It has executed 100 times. That's why. Now report as well. We can see here report also stored. We can open this report. Right? See, 100% everything passed. Now we have learned how to control the number of users, ramp up period, and loop count period from the command line using this function -p. And this is the syntax that you can use in Mac. Right? This is also for Mac OS. For Windows OS, what you need to do is we just need to make a slight change. That's it. Here instead of sh space jmeter.sh, you can use just jmeter. Right? You can use just here jmeter. Right? Similarly, here also for Windows you can use just here jmeter. That's it. That is the only difference between Windows system and a Mac system while executing the command. We will attach this test plan as well as this document in the resource section. Thank you for watching.